Welcome to Spa Business Mastery. I am so glad you're here today. So, dear spa owner, today's topic is about seasonality and the highs and the lows of it and how to handle that. Because the truth of the matter is, the spa industry, we are a seasonal kind of business. And yet, it has thrown a wrench into our business kind of year after year after year. And you would think that because we know this happens year after year after year, that we would have gotten better at managing the seasonality. But I also understand why this hasn't happened, because it's also super common for spa owners to be so in the weeds with their business. Whether you are still, like, if you have a team and you are still in the treatment room, you are full on, like, deep in the weeds. But even if you're a solo and you are running your own business and you're kind of at this place where, like, I'm fully booked, or I'm fully booked most of the year, but some of the seasonality is really messing with me, having that, even if the seasonality has been happening year over year for the entirety of your career, I can totally see why we get caught up in it every year and seemingly to be surprised every year when it rolls around and, all of a sudden it's a little quieter. Maybe it's a little quieter. Maybe it's like full on crickets for you at some points of the year. So, I do find that no matter how long you've been in the industry, it seems to catch spa owners off guard when it comes to the highs and lows of their seasonality. Like, in terms of the highs, if you're super busy, that brings its own problems as well. There is a technique that's often used in coaching, and it's about looking at your business and 10 timesing it. And if you 10 times it, can you actually handle that kind of flow through your business at 10 times where you're at? Most of the time, that particular exercise is a way for you to look at your business and see what is missing in terms of systems and structure to allow that 10 times growth in your business right away. I would guarantee that most spas could not handle 10 times growth, because that would, put major pressure on needing to hire, because of course we are hands-on mostly in this industry. So we need people. So, during those really busy times, it wreaks havoc with our staffing situation. Like, we need to hire somebody, but just kind of temporarily, because we know that it's going to get a little quieter afterwards. And, the holiday season is a perfect example of that. Things start getting ramped up at the end of November. They really go into high gear. And then in January, it is definitely crickets for a lot of spas. So, we've got the issue with staffing and having enough team power to handle 10 times growth. What about the other systems that you have in your business? Like, can your booking system handle that? Does it need an upgrade? Do you need a client management system like Booker and Mevo, like some of these bigger systems that can handle that kind of volume? And when you have that kind of volume, you absolutely need to have really good metric system. So what I notice about like booking systems for the spas, I know a lot of spas are, they're watching their pennies and they're trying to get the least expensive one as possible. But the problem is if you were to 10 times your business, you don't have the proper spa business metrics that you need to discern and make decisions going forward. So you can, just because you feel like the low points of seasonality means that there's not money coming in, it's just as much of a gong show sometimes if you've got all of a sudden a huge amount of clients coming in and booking. So we see this kind of big surge happening in the spring and summer for resort towns. And then it's quiet in September. We see that surge in most spas in December, like end of November, all of December. We see another surge in the springtime as weather gets better. So we all know the seasonality, but what I want to be really clear about is both the low and the high can cause problems. And today I want to talk about how you can mitigate those kinds of issues. All right, so I think when we are mostly talking about seasonality, I think most of you are thinking about the low times and how to mitigate that. And that's really where I want to take this conversation. Because If you are getting super busy really, really fast, there's a bunch of systems that need to go into place. So this topic is huge. For today, I really want to talk about kind of managing the lows of the seasonality. And then maybe another topic, we'll talk about how to manage the high pieces. Okay, so let's talk about some of these, a little bit more of this pain points that you guys are feeling when it comes to especially the low parts of seasonality. So for those of you that are skin clinics or skin niched, you're going to notice that your bookings tend to slow down in the summertime and then pick up in the fall. If you are a full service spa, you probably notice that your bookings start bumping up in the springtime with, pedicures and waxing. But then you guys feel like all of a sudden in September, it's like, oh no, people aren't booking. And usually it's because kids are back in school. And as a parent, I know that first 3 weeks of September are a total gong show in our house when we had all kids home. So I saw that pattern, and a lot of it has to do with just after summer is over, everybody's getting into new routines. And it just takes a little bit of time to get everybody get sorted out. All right, so the bottom line here is that seasonality happens pretty much every year. The only spas that I notice that don't really experience a lot of seasonalities are very established spas and skin therapy clinics or lash studios. So those sometimes, once your business is established and you've done really well, you just don't see that seasonality at all. And then the next problem with that to solve is how to 10 times your business, how to handle that extra volume. So what is the answer? What will help you mitigate particularly the low seasonality and the high in your spa business so that it's not this panic at the beginning of September when you're not getting as many bookings? It's not a panic at the beginning of January when you see that the schedule is not as full as you need it to be. So the short answer here, my friends, is planning. And yes, I know you've heard this before. And yes, I'm beating the same drum, but there is no magic bullet for this. There's no magic bullet for every aspect of business. It needs you as a leader. It needs your time and your energy to be able to focus on the big picture. So I'm going to circle back what I was mentioning about most spa owners are totally in the day-to-day weeds of their business. When you're in the day-to-day weeds of your business, and if you don't take time for admin, like big blocks of time for admin and planning, twice a year planning, if you're not taking that time, of course, you are feeling like you're being surprised by the seasonality every single year. So you can choose to do the same thing and repeat the same patterns year over year, or you can decide that you're going to be doing it differently this year to mitigate those issues. All right. So I'm going to talk about marketing in particular, because that's really a big piece of trying to manage the low aspects. And a big part of managing the low aspects in terms of planning is planning out far enough so that you can take steps in your marketing and not just kind of do the whole throw the spaghetti on the wall and hope it sticks type of strategy, which most spas do. So what I see most spas doing is that, it's maybe the last 2 weeks of the month and they're all of a sudden, oh my gosh, the next month is coming up in 2 weeks. I haven't done my social media. So it's this kind of mad dash to put together social media. Most of them are you guys are posting on the fly. Some of you have gotten a little bit better and you're actually batching that content a month before. Okay, so that's a perfect first step, is just to batch it out. So like right now, beginning of June, I'd be batching out July's social media content, as well as your email, as well as what's going on your website. All right. So the first step in managing these highs and lows is acknowledging and realizing that you have to start planning out your marketing much, much farther in advance. I definitely recommend having a 12-month plan, and you can do this in a spreadsheet. You don't need to take the plan all the way to the nitty-gritty details. Just start mapping out each month on a spreadsheet what is kind of what normally happens in each month, what kind of pain points your clients are experiencing each month, because that will help you to formulate some service features. I don't mean discounts, I mean just service features, something to focus on. This will, once you've determined your service feature, you'll be able to determine 2 retail products that dovetail with that service feature. Once you've got that core focus of the month, the core service for the month to focus on, the core products to focus on, now you can develop that out past your social media and use that and repeat that messaging in your email marketing. Repeat that message on your, like if you have a featured image on your homepage, if you have something that you can change out, if you have a featured page on your website. What else? Blogging on your website. I cannot stress enough how well blogging, specifically when it's SEO optimized, how well that works to generate just new leads on a consistent basis. All right. So when you're putting, when you're thinking about your monthly focus and kind of each month of the year, what do you now do with it? You can use another spreadsheet, and we use spreadsheets all the time with our clients. This is how we stay organized. Having a spreadsheet that, once you have all your ideas for the year, then you can break it down into quarters, like Q1, January, February, March. Okay, in January, what's the focus? So you can start getting a little more granular that way. What this is, it's a marketing system, all right? Now, a marketing system you want to figure out what platforms you're using, okay, for all across the board. What social media platforms are you using? I'm sure you got a website. What kind of email platform are you using? What else have we got here? How are you sharing information inside the spa? Do you have shelf talkers? Do you have conversation starters for your team? That's all part of your marketing system. You got to decide what goes in the system first. Then once you have your monthly content mapped out, then so once you have the yearly plan, then distilled into the monthly content, then you can start deciding about, okay, how are we going to show up on social media? What is this email going to look like? What is our blog topic? What is our blog going to look like? What are the talking points in there? So you can start building it out from there. What else have I got here? And then the last piece of your marketing system. So we've got the overall yearly plan, then we've got the quarterly plan, then we distill it down into monthly. Then it's time to attach accountability to it. So even if you are a solo spa owner, and if you are a busy solo spa owner, I'm going to suggest that you hire out your social media for sure. It's something that it's a lower level task. If you're already really busy and booked out a couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure there's some cash flow in there for a social media manager. But this is where, if you do have a social media VA or a social media manager or a website person, this is where you would attach due dates and deliverables for who they go to. Now, I want to remind you that, dear spa owner, not only do you manage a spa, but you also are a project manager. Okay. So I think sometimes when I say this to spa owners, they sometimes get a little light bulb goes off. Oh, I'm a project manager too. Oh, and let me tell you, there are tons of tools for project management. We use asana.com, ASANA.com for work with our clients. And then with the team, we've actually been using ClickUp.com, but we're strategizing about actually moving everything over to Asana. But the fact of the matter is, when you use project management software, it makes your life, spa owner / project manager, way, way, way easier. These platforms are they're cloud-based, so you can add team members on there, and when you change something or you add a due date or you add accountability for somebody, then those people get emails and alerts for it. So I absolutely recommend that you are using some sort of project management software for your spa business. And this would be under the marketing section of it. All right, the overarching theme here as well is when you have a marketing system, it is kind of it's a bit of a slog to get it put together, but once you have it together, you just have to kind of push that little flywheel and keep it going. It's not like every month you have to start from scratch and figure out a new topic and, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do for a feature, and what kind of, it gets really overwhelming in an already overwhelming day and month. So dear spa owner, do yourself a favor, block out some time soon. We're at the beginning of June 2021 as of this recording. And so it's a great time. We're at the 6-month mark. So it's a great time for you to get started planning your Q3 and 4 for your marketing. And this would hopefully give you a little bit of a framework to help set that up. Now, if you are listening to this and going, this sounds really great, but this still completely overwhelms me, I totally understand. Delia and I, she is my director of marketing. We've actually put together a brand new service on the coaching side of our business, and it is a VIP day, put your marketing system together in a day. And so how this is going to work is that we have the system built out for you. We have the spreadsheets, we have the information, we have the templates, we have it all. We have the social media management SOP to give your team. And at this day, you come to us with, there's some little pre-work that needs to be done, but at our VIP day, we've got 2 90-minute sessions on that day. And both Delia and I will be on this call, and we will be essentially, it is a very efficient and fast way to get your marketing system together. So yes, you will be on the call, but we're going to be teaching you exactly what needs to go in what section. We're going to be helping you come up with ideas for the whole year, helping you distill that out, what it could look like for blog topics, how that could be, what that would look like for email. And also just giving you some ideas for the formatting of an email and like what can go in there to make it more interesting for your readers. So it's very much an all-encompassing spa marketing system. It's very intentional on this day because we want to make sure after we're done that you have a fully functioning spa marketing system that we're gonna build out Q1 for you, but now you can build out Q2 to Q4. And then we also have a 30-minute follow-up call in a month after that, within the month after that call, so that if you have any lingering questions and just need support, that we can help you do that. So it's a brand new service. It's not up on our website quite yet. And we would really love to work with, we're only going to work with 2 spas in June to beta test this. So we've got the system. We know it works. We work with it all the time. But we want to test it out in a VIP day format. So if you are interested in beta testing this with us, I encourage you to reach out to me ASAP because I'm only booking 2 spots, one for the 3rd week of June and one for the 4th week of June. And we're doing this service at a slightly lower cost than what it would be regular cost, while we just pretty much just, we're making sure we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's, and also wanting the feedback from you as the VIP day attendee. If there's anything that you felt you'd like to add on or isn't included, that, it just helps us to flesh out all of those little details. So that's why there's a beta test price for it. So all of this conversation orbits around being more organized as a spa owner, being more efficient as a spa owner, because when you're more efficient, things work better, money comes in easier, the team works easier, you feel like you're moving through your business a lot easier, and you're generating the outcomes that you want, both for yourself as a business and for your clients in terms of their results. Okay, that is it for today's Spa Business Mastery. If you enjoy this podcast, I would love it if you left a review or if you left a rating on it. And if you would like to join a I have a a Facebook group that's free, and it's called Spa Business Mastery. You can go ahead and search that when you're on Facebook, ask to join. And as long as you're not a vendor or a marketer, because we know the vendors and marketers wreck everything. I'm a marketer now, so I keep it in my own group. But yeah, if you're a spa owner or you're an esthetician that maybe one day wants to open up a spa and you're just trying to gather information, feel free to join that group, and I will see you in there. Okay, see you next time.